Hi, and thanks for joining us for this installment of the Inner Circle Wine Club virtual tasting. We're here today on the deck at South Shore Wine Company overlooking one of our neighbors' vineyards, and I'm Mario Mazza.
I'm Blaine Ballard.
And we're going to be tasting this installment of the
Veraison selection of our Inner Circle Wine Club. This particular shipment is the sweets, is the classification. You're getting three of our most popular sweet varieties, Niagara, Pink Catawba, and Concord. A lot of people view this region by these wines, so this is not necessarily all that we do, but we do these very well, and I think that everyone that's subscribed to the sweet selection will really enjoy the white, the rosé, and the red selection of our sweet wines, the Niagara, the Pink Catawba, and the Concord.
And like Blaine said, this region is, the Lake Erie region is actually the largest contiguous growing region east of the Rockies here in the U.S. And these varieties themselves are Labrusca varieties, or they're indigenous to North America. So unlike the vinifera counterparts, things like Chardonnay or Merlot or Cabernet Sauvignon that are from Europe originally, these are indigenous to the U.S. They tend to be very distinct in their aromatics, so very grape and fruit forward. It's often what I think a lot of people that grow up, truthfully probably in the U.S., think of as a grape flavor would be something like Concord. So they're very distinct, but enjoyed by a lot of people. And again, if you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. We're going to start off with the Niagara today. So Niagara is a white wine variety, harvested relatively early in the season. For this year, we're going to see those grapes start to come in at the very beginning of September. We tend to pick them a little bit earlier than some because that actually achieves a balance for the wine style. So even though we're making sweet wines, there's still some really important decisions with regards to how we handle the fruit to ensure that we still achieve the best quality wine as a result. And one of the things that can happen with this variety, if you let it over ripen, it can actually start to take on some undesirable flavor characteristics. It get a little bit more fusel and developed that we don't like. We like to kind of keep that fresher, crisper flavor. So there's a very narrow range of picking parameters that we aim for. So again, even though it's a sweet wine, there's a lot of key nuances to what we're doing in the vineyard and the winery to achieve quality.
Yeah, the thing I like about these wines is it's like walking through the vineyards and grabbing a bunch of grapes off the vine. It really it takes you to a place.
Yeah, just aromatic, reminiscent. Anyone that grows up around this region has driven through in the fall, and these varieties are unique in the fact that the aromas actually can be smelled even when you're next to a vineyard. And so that's something that I think a lot of people have a memory of. So if you've ever had the great opportunity to visit Lake Erie Wine Country during harvest season, these will probably bring you back.
Absolutely.
So again, Niagara picked, optimizing that sweetness, cool fermented, stainless steel, and then back sweetened to finish to bring out that flavor and aroma. Acidity is kind of kept low in balance, really. So you're just going to have that nice, rich, sweet fullness in this wine.
Yeah, real friendly and easy to drink for someone who may not be a vinophile that is interested in getting into wine. These varieties are a great first step to wade into the waters.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next wine we've got is Pink Catawba. Catawba is the variety. We make a Pink Catawba. There's variations out there. They're white Catawba, so they wouldn't have that pink hue to them. The variety itself is one of the last varieties that we picked during the season. So this is right towards the end of October. The variety tends to be a little bit more acidic. So we want to let that ripen. It's going to carry that color. If we were to pick it earlier, we'd probably extract a little bit less color, but we'd have some higher acidity. But again, this is not distinctly as aromatic, I don't think, as the Niagara or the Concord in some ways. A little bit more subtle in that aroma. Again, we're bringing this in. We're cold pressing, so we extract some of the color, but not too much. Cool stainless steel fermentation again. Really just all about clean winemaking in this instance. We want to just make sure the yeasts are happy and healthy, doing their job, let those natural aromatics from the grape shine through.
Yeah, once again, very fruit forward, but you can tell that it was made well with a tiny bit of acidity showing through in there. But yeah, very fruit forward, very nice one.
One of the interesting things about this grape, a little bit ancillary to what we do with regards to the winemaking side is this is a variety that we actually also use quite a bit of at our sister operation, 5 and 20 Spirits. So Catawba actually turns out to be a great grape and a great base wine for spirits. So we actually will take this variety because of the acidity, and we'll use it for distillation to create base grape brandy. That can be used for fortification. We actually use it for some vermouth projects as well. So it's actually a very versatile variety in that regard. So it's kind of something maybe not shown here, but something that we found that has actually a lot of utility there as well.
Yeah, a little floral on the nose and the palate as well. A little bit more floral than fruity, as opposed to the other two varieties. So you do get a little bit of variety in these three selections.
And the third and final one, Concord, is probably the most planted. It is the most planted acreage here in Lake Erie wine country. Tens of thousands of acres. You know, again, not to undermine the fact that there's thousands of acres of wine grape varieties grown here as well. And Concord, there is a significant amount that goes into winemaking. So this is, again, I think, the variety that probably in the aroma and the flavor that for a lot of people that have grown up in the U.S. or spent time in the U.S., this is that quintessential grape flavor that I think a lot of people associate with. These grapes are actually intentionally hot pressed, so they're heated up to extract the color and flavor from the fruit. But unlike traditional vinifera varieties where we ferment on the skin to extract the tannins, we don't do this. It's fermented still as a juice. And again, cool fermented in stainless, again, to retain those aromas that were extracted during that pressing operation. Again, just letting those aromatics show through. The reference often is made, and I don't know that it's necessarily a reference in the U.S. that's used, but these wines are often described as foxy. And I think that comes from the UK descriptor, but it has to do with some of the aromatics that are in here, the acronyms, for MA for methylanthrate and OA and the Concord. They're just that distinctive aromas that we have in these wines that, again, if you've been here during harvest, they're reminiscent of that flavor and aroma.
Yep, grapes. Absolutely, that is what you think of when you think of grapes in this region, for sure.
So that takes us through, again, the Niagara, Pink Catawba, and Concord from Mazza Chautauqua Cellars, Mazza Vineyards, and South Shore Wine Company, each one of the brands here as part of Mazza Wines. So thanks again for joining us. Cheers.
Cheers.